The lane potentially. Karma's like a pretty robust laner. That does of course mean Sett jungle for Svenskeren, which is one of the many possibilities alongside Sett. I think of interest to me just looking at these compositions is Bang on the Senna. Not necessarily because he's playing Senna, because I think plenty of marksmen are quite competent on this champion, but it's alongside a traditional support here in Braum. So this could be something we actually don't see as often, which is Senna's just taking a traditional farming role as a marksman. Seen it a couple times. I definitely remember Mash doing it this split in Academy. I don't think he did it in the LCS. But
we have to apologize to him. We have to apologize to Mash because we were criticizing it. It's like, hey, this is not that good because he's status farming, but it's picked up around the world nonstop. It's getting mixed reviews here and there. Some people don't even get to take it off the ground. The thing about it is that if you get going and you hit mid to late, even, you're just an absolute beast on this champion. She's incredibly strong. So it's all about getting past that early stage where you don't have that big of a wave clear.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the ability of Senna to empower, a different farming champion in bot lane is really cool. We've seen this, actually, Zeyzal played Rumble alongside support Senna, which was one of the cooler picks of spring. We've seen Wukong, we've seen Sett. You can do just about anything, and that's all well and good. But Senna's also like a perfectly good champion, and she's fine just farming as well as a regular marksman. Was designed, in fact, to be able to play both roles. So, it's not as cool, I guess, is the reason why we don't like it as much.
It can be cool with Huni when they group up. I think what they want to do is have the shield on Bang so that they just have Bang be the star of the show. You got the Braum to CC anybody if anybody gets close. You've got the Karma, the Orianna shield. So they really would just want a complete death ball on EG. So it can be interesting to watch. It's just something that is not as flashy as what we've been used to when it's Malphite Orianna catching you off guard. And you're like, yay, Shockwave.
I mean, they certainly are very enjoyable to watch. I am curious to see how team fights especially go, not from like how do these compositions match up against each other necessarily, but how to what do Huni and Golden Glue do that Kumo and Jiizuke don't do, right? Like Jiizuke is, I think, known for super good split push pressure, very not off meta because most of the champions he plays, somebody plays out there in the world, but he plays not many people play Echo in NA right now as an example, right? But he's still willing to play that champion. So I think, as we heard from Artemis, there'll be more of an emphasis on maybe team fighting here in this 5v5 comp, but I'm curious to see how the different things play. As we get this delay resolved, I'm going to throw it over to the recent spotlight on Team Liquid's bot laner, Tactical.
During the spring split, when I was playing my few games, it felt pretty surreal what was happening. I couldn't completely process that I was playing LCS with some players I would never have imagined to play with beforehand.
Tactical is in for Team Liquid. We'll see if he can fill the biggest shoes that an AD carry could have in North America, which is Doublelift himself. I mean, literally any player coming to the LCS, you'd be like, that's a downgrade from Doublelift.
Tactical got to be the starting AD carry of the 4-time defending champions. It was a lot of pressure and some really big shoes to fill.
The re-engage could be too good. TL gonna chase down the kills. A double kill for Tactical. Give him the third.
Oh, they both dash over the wall. Beautifully done by Tactical.
Coming into the summer split of 2020, he gets the full-time spot.
I sort of couldn't believe it at first, because there's no way I would have ever thought 1 year ago from now that I would have replaced Doublelift basically. So it just took some time to sink in, and I was really happy, but also I was also nervous at the same time because I was thinking about would I mesh well once we're in during season, would I be able to stand my own against the other top players in LCS, and was I good enough? But if a world champion is willing to play with me, I think there might be something going on.
I still remember that when he was in the academy team, I was keep asking him, do you want to duo with me? He said, playing with you is pressure me. I'm scared to make a mistake when I play with you, and at that he's very shy, and then he's not a really aggressive personality. But when I talk to him like more and more, I realized he has a big anger to be better. He don't want to lose to anybody.
He's someone who is clearly a perfectionist. He can win a laning phase by 20 CS and still sometimes be beating himself up because he didn't win it by 30 CS.
I'd say I bring a chance to the team to be able to change. For example, if they had maybe kept double lift, it would have been harder for them to change the way they wanted to play, just because veterans usually have a solid ground of how they want to play the game and how they view the game. But I don't really have like the solid ground yet, so I'm pretty like open. I bring some new excitement to the team, I think, like Zoomer energy.
I've seen a lot of other rookies come into teams of veterans, of people with strong minds, and they're just like little puppy dogs, like trying to follow people around, and they're not really able to build off of the things that got them to the pro stage in the first place. But Tactical is not like that, right? Tactical is able to be tactical.
As a player, he's like a diamond from the mine. In NA mine, I can see he's gonna be shine in the future.
This is a very scary prospect for Team Liquid to sub out double lift. It is very obviously a downgrade.
Nice start. Oh my God, Stun's gonna go down. There's no way he lives there.
Wind is safe, but here comes Tactical. And Tactical wins the duel.
If you took away his name and you put in double lift there, you'd be like, oh yeah, just give him player of the week. That was great.
And already Tactical is here to kill his old teammate. Ooh, Aspa's great hook by Aspa.
I feel like we already are moving past him living in double lift shadow.
Tactical, so far, 2 thumbs up.
Give it what you got right now.
But that is Cody's son dying out of the turret. Look at this damage. Tactical hasn't been available. 2 more Qs would kill him, but he's changed in place. Tactical, taking names.
Whether it be in League of Legends or in other sports, it's oftentimes really important to make that strong first impression. Sometimes you don't have full control over when it's going to be or in what situation it's going to happen, but you need to be ready for that situation. So he was someone who was able to be ready for the moment and step up to the moment. And
Hello and welcome back, everybody. It is time for our game. Thank you for waiting through the delays. We did have teams drop out of Champ Select, and then there was a pause. But here we are with the start of our second game of the evening. It is Team Liquid Crumbzz versus EG, but not as you know them. Golden Glue and Huni rocking the mid lane and top lane this weekend, actually, as far as we're aware.
That is where our eyes are going to be glued, into the mid lane, because Golden Glue kind of represents North American talent in a way. He's what a lot of players have rallied behind as to somebody that should be in rosters. And you asked in the Champion Select, how well does he have to do? What is the benchmark of what Golden Glue is required to happen in this game? And I think it's the Orianna game that Jiizuke had against Immortals, where he went 2, 4, and 5. And frankly, that was one of the games that we nominated for a tactical int game, which was one of the worst performances in a winning game. So that is what Golden Glue has to be. He's known much more for his control mages than Jiizuke, so I think he can definitely do a better job here. But what we heard from Artemis was that the shot calling was a big aspect that they liked about Golden Glue as well. So that's something that we don't get to really see, but as long as the macro for EG is solid, then I think we can know that the roster changes were positive.
Everyone loves a good revenge story as well. I remember when Golden Glue was on Cloud9, he was, alongside Jensen. Those were the two, fighting for spots, if you will, or at least, playing in those games where they did manage to sweep TSM, as Analyst S was talking about earlier on. So kind of a fun one there to see Golden Glue, now an evil genius, playing up against one of his old teammates in Jensen. But we'll have a peek here in the bottom lane. It is Tactical and CoreJJ on the Kalista and the Bard. But Caretaker trends everywhere for a bit of extra health, and we'll see how Bang does on the farming center, as you can see that Doran's blade there. So this is going to be more of your traditional marksman center.
Traditional, yet he has so much of the rest of his team to be just big bodies in front of him to peel for him. So I think this, to me, I hit it in Champions Select. This is just EG doubling down on Bang as a facilitator. And Huni, this is a good champion for him. I know we don't like to see the Karma in the top lane because, well, there's really not a lot of kill pressure and you're not really going to gank her a lot, but it gives him an ability to bully out the laning phase and still help the team out later in the stages of team fights. So this is him just saying, listen, I'll compromise, just give me something that can be a lane bully and I'll help you out later.
Yeah, I was going to say this feels like a good halfway point between his traditional Lucian super hard carries and Ornn, which he's been playing more recently, as you mentioned. Karma's kind of maybe best of both worlds here. And so far so good against Impact, although Impact keeping up in farm just nicely, isn't too worried about the 1v1 just yet. Svenskeren, though, could be the troublemaker here in topside. Gonna take the crab first, though. Very important for junglers to get their crabs.
Good that both junglers are pathing to the sides where they have pressure. So you see this when Svenskeren path is top side, you've got Huni pushing the way, so he can quickly collapse to that, and then Broxah path is to bottom. His bottom lane is pushing the minion wave as well, so he knows that he can always go to this crab and win a fight because his bottom lane will collapse sooner. So that just shows you that the junglers are thinking about where their route is going to end and timing it with their laners' pressure. So I think that both these teams so far are playing pretty well, right? It usually is a sign of trouble when the junglers path to the side where they don't have pressure and then get double crabbed.
Yes, which I think is becoming, from what I understand interacting with you, Crumbzz, one of your least favorite things to see as a jungler. You just don't like it when the crabs aren't split in the early game and one jungler gets two of them here.
It's brutal. It's brutal. To see that happen to somebody is just, you feel for them because it's so much gold and experience and it helps everybody else out. And as a jungler, you kind of want to put the blame on your lanes like, oh, I needed one of you to come help me out. But then you also have to recognize, hey, I should have pathed better. I maybe should have seen and paid more attention to where my lanes were at and try to make my route consider that. So you can't pity the junglers too much, but you feel bad a little bit.
Bad to watch. Definitely bad to have happened to you in game. As we saw Impact and Huni battling for a bit here. Golden Glue and Jensen also doing battle. Jensen up 10 CS right now.
He's bopping Golden Glue. He has not used the potion. Golden Glue has burned through his. He's going to have to TP pretty soon. So Azir doing a lot of work thus far.
You can see Svenskeren wanting to apply some pressure.
Ooh.
Jensen applies it right back to the mid laner, though. And he's just going to shove this and get out of there. He's got the TP if he needs to use it, so does Golden Glue, but Jensen will have the rights to the first back if he wants it. CoreJJ, though, is roaming up here, and this is a dangerous spot for Golden Glue to be in, so he's going to have to back away. It's top lane, though, where the attention is. Huni's a little low on mana, but Svenskeren going to flash in there. Impact going to have to flash up, but he doesn't make it over the wall, and Huni, with the empowered Q and no mana left, gets first blood.
Hits him with the crab, returns the cat instead, so Impact just fails to flash in. The Karma is tempting to follow because you know that she doesn't have enough damage, so as long as you can catch her off guard, he burned through a ton of the mana thinking he had an opportunity, but Svenskeren was there, and at least Team Liquid is in a position to go for the dragon, though, so this is pretty positive for them. And whoa, even gets a flash out of Golden Glue there. I don't think Jensen had enough mana to pop an ultimate there.
That's a good point. I was going to say, if he does, you have to flash there. And that was a very respectful flash from Golden Glue, but you may be right about the mana situation. Speaking of, Huni had this one calculated.
Oh, Impact, where are you going?
He's trying to go over the wall.
Oh, no. That's worse than getting too crabbed. At least he has the sense of humor to spam emotes after death. Post-mortem emotes.
Kind of fitting for Mordekaiser, I feel like, as a champion, but
yeah.
In fact, not too perturbed. Mid lane, though, that CS lead's already feeling a little scary. Jensen has, despite, you playing a lot of control mages and playing a lot of Twisted Fate, not the, super lane dominant, aggressive champions that maybe he was known for in the past. His numbers have been excellent so far as a mid laner, so he is still, dominating people in lanes. It's just, not in the flashy way. He's doing it in the Team Liquid way, I guess we can call it.
Those numbers might get a little balloon now, because if you ever played with a mid laner that loves to communicate what you can do, Jensen can just say, just come mid. Broxah. I've got flash, Orianna does not. I can just flash ultimate, worst case scenario. So they can just scoop her right from under the mid lane turret and get a kill there. Huni has to flash out of impact, fearing that he's got multiple cats ready to go. That was a different one than the one he used after death.
It's like Cat Lady Yorick, a whole bag ready to go and throw at Huni as Impact has taken control of the top lane. Broxah and CoreJJ also continuing to be best buddies here on the roam alongside Jensen. Now Zeyzal has roamed up, but he might face check at the wrong time. I think that ward placement is good timing there for Zeyzal as he does not walk into the potential trap, but the red buff still seems to be the target. And Broxah's trying to take that one away.
No Bard is there, and Golden Glue is dead.
Yeah, no flash, ulti back in, and that's going to be a kill. Oh, the Senna ulti makes it close, but it's not enough. Sett, though, going to find the dunk on Broxah, but he can't finish off the kill. Now Impact put him in the death realm. That's why he couldn't finish off Broxah. But now Impact may be dead to rights. Huni going to try and finish him off. Svenskeren getting way too low, though, and Jensen, as he pops out of the realm, he's able to get the kill. Huni's going to go down as well, and everything, Crumbzz, everything goes wrong for EG.
That was just masterful from Team Liquid. So the big thing there is that EG did not know that CoreJJ had snuck in. We saw from the vision that they had no idea that there was a Bard. They thought, okay, maybe it's just the Lee Sin going for the red buff, going for a counter jungle, knowing that the Sett was going to be there. But the second that the Bard showed up, that's when trouble began. And they all played it perfectly. I mean, CoreJJ stuck standing on the Azir wall, and then Impact saving Broxah. They're going to try to go on Huni, and Zeyzal flashes in.
Zeyzal's in there. TP's in with a spellbook backup. And Svenskeren also ready. So they'll stop the Rift Herald, but no kills forthcoming and a lot of cooldowns burnt. Jensen might be trying it again. No, he's actually recalling. Playing a quick game of Go before he goes back home. And already, oh my goodness, Nash's tooth finish, Crumbzz. 20 CS ahead. Let's watch this again.
All right, so the first thing, right, knowing that the Orianna doesn't have flash, nice and easy, stun the Orianna on the Azir. Cool little interaction there, and then watch Impact there. Not only with the initial scoop, but then ulting the Sett away so he can't receive additional help from the Karma. And it's fun to watch the Mordekaisers in this situation because so many times Mordekaisers actually miss everything in the death realm, but Impact had to hit every spell to be able to take out the Sett before he spawned and had the Karma to help him out, and then another Q from CoreJJ. That was I'm going to give my tip of the hat to CoreJJ on that one because he made a huge difference there.
Yeah, making those swiftness boots work as he's been roaming around the map towards the mid lane quite often. Huni locking up Impact here. But just trying to collect the farm at this point as Golden Glue is just forced to play very far back here. Here's CoreJJ again, by the way. No ulti for the bar, but he's going to sweep away the vision, and Golden Glue is going to continue to feel the pressure as Svenskeren up in the top side. Ready with the dunk. Impact does not have his flash for a little bit longer. But the roots are incoming. Impact trying to get out of this one. And actually, he's dead. That throw goes Svenskeren. Dunk. Flash out for Sven. Impact are going to keep chasing on, and Huni, he's got to finish it off. He comes back out, but Impact, now he's got his own shield as Huni is going to lock him up in the root. Impact, though, already burnt the flash, surely is going to die here. It's just a matter of does he get one or not, and the answer is no. Huni able to take him down with the gank from Sven.
That was Svenskeren and the rest of EG going for scraps there because, yeah, you can take out Impact, but you're helping out your Karma. That's not going to win you the game. Instead, Team Liquid gets to go for the Dragon in the bottom side. They were setting this up from the pressure that Jensen was providing. They can clear out all the vision and then go for this major objective there. And honestly, in that play top, if Impact landed that final mace, Svenskeren was dead as well, and Impact would have been in a fantastic position. He might be 0-2, but he's still doing a great job in pressuring EG.
Well, Golden Glue thankfully does not get his recall cancelled. That would have been disastrous. But 2 dragons already for Team Liquid, very swiftly snowballing towards this Infernal Soul, which is the rift for this game. And 30 CS and counting now for Jensen.
Not just him. Tactical also has a lead of the same magnitude against Bangin. It's pretty crazy that Team Liquid is already off to this strong start. I mean, this is a really strong improvement from what we had been criticizing about them, which is being somewhat slow. But against EG, their ability to just push these lanes and gain advantages from the laning phase is really impressive here. It's one of the weaknesses that Senna will have is that she's not going to be able to contest the waves early on and will likely fall behind in some weaker matchups. But Team Liquid has found opportunities to let Tactical be by himself and have CoreJJ roam. Think about Zeyzal that had to TP away and leave his Senna alone too.
Yeah, I mean, Bang just getting what farm he can. Charging up the Manamune, also charging a Tyrion mid lane for Golden Glue. We've got Karma top lane for EG. Like, a lot of this is like, needs a bit of time and needs to be together, right? This is a 5v5 comp for EG, but TL just playing well across the lanes, snowballing the early game already. Actually up 2,000 gold, which at little under 13 minutes is pretty significant, and Jensen is not stopping these roams. Svenskeren suspects the Herald is being taken, but he's going to try and stop it, but there's a few more here than they bargained for. There's Jensen scooping one in. It's Svenskeren now. He's going to dunk himself back over the wall, but only to certain death. Senna ulti going to make it close, but not close enough. Jensen, what a flash! Just barely gets out from under the shockwave, but he does get shut down, and now Golden Glue is going to get wrapped up by CoreJJ into stasis. He goes. Golden Glue going to have to flash out. Impact with a double claw pulls two back in, and Broxah is going to get the first one. Zeyzal's here for the follow-up stun, but there is no more damage left as TL trading up against EG.
That flash Q from CoreJJ was sick, and before you know it, Tactical is already here. Team Liquid is still thinking about the objective game. They didn't see that Azir was coming. EG was blind when it came to moving through the red side, so Jensen just got to scoop multiple members. Svenskeren got lucky that that Sett has the ability to go through that wall and make sure that he can regroup with the rest of the team. But this is, once again, Team Liquid playing around the red side of the jungle and being much faster and utilizing pockets of vision to take advantage of EG now. It starts with Karma being by herself in the death realm, so she doesn't get scooped up. It's only Svenskeren. So once she comes out, it gets a little bit easier for them to manage it, especially once Orianna comes through and the Senna ultimate to help out as well. But the big play for me here is watch CoreJJ here at the end, right? With the scoop to double stun with the scoop from Mordekaiser. It just looked beautiful. You almost wish they killed Golden Glue just to make it even nicer.
Well, let's still take it. Team Liquid still up in gold as EG are trying to fight back in this very tough early game. Jensen now down towards the bottom half of the map, but still has his best bud CoreJJ by his side. And Broxah's here as well. This is bullying. This Golden Glue gonna get chased out. Oh, never mind. Svenskeren's here for the surprise. They actually get the shockwave through. I don't know how that hit Jensen. And the Haymaker's gonna finish him off as EG bring Huni down to the bottom lane, and they win this engagement.
That was exactly the bait that EG needed to go for. An absolute surprise where Svenskeren is right there, because it looked like bullying. It's like, oh yeah, Golden Glue here by himself without flash in the bottom lane. Yeah, this should be pretty easy, but instead they pull the trap onto Azir and actually get the gold from him, and they are now playing to the red side. They're taking the page out of Team Liquid's book and using it, and it's looking good. Yep.
Svenskeren there threatening us all, gets himself the red buff after Windburst cloaking over the wall with the Hex Flash. Impact, though, is going to get himself the top lane outer tower, so gold lead's still staying pretty nice here for Team Liquid, up 2,500 gold, but Huni looking to finish off this tower and make that gold even closer. Golden Glue is going to complete his recall and go do a spot of shopping as the Rift Herald gets summoned here in mid lane. This is a pretty high-paced game here. Team Liquid continuing to try and snowball their advantage. They will take down the mid-outer, but that trade is not completed in the bottom lane as Jensen moves in to defend that tower. So 25 seconds now till this Infernal Drake is up, and it would be sole point if Team Liquid were able to get it. So EG already 16 minutes into the game, Crumbzz, have a very important set of decisions to make about how they want to approach this next objective, because I think most people would say you must fight for this Drake.
I think they absolutely would. Now, do they feel like they have the items to do so and the position? I'm not so sure. Orianna will have to teleport down here, and clearly Team Liquid is a lot stronger right now. Without Orianna being there initially, this composition is going to have a really hard time finding any poke or any way to engage right away. So I think that from the vision that we see in the top side, this is EG conceding this because Orianna is not here.
Yeah, has TP, so Golden Glue can make it here, but vision to TP2 not all that present. Speedtron's going to go over to Team Liquid as well. EG are committing here though, but Zeyzal's getting wrapped up. Svenskeren diving in onto Impact. Lots of stasis there because Tempered Fate was popped there, but Golden Glue now going to make his way in. EG needs to find a way into this fight though. Senna ulti out. Impact still low, but he's not out just yet, and somebody needs to find an angle on the ulti. Broxah just chasing Svenskeren out of there. The Shockwave primed here for Golden Glue, but doesn't want to pull it just yet. Onto Impact he goes. That's the target he wants. Impact though going to pull him back in. Golden Glue does get the kill, but he gets kicked back by Broxah into his certain death. As now Fate's Call going to knock up 2 in the front line. And here comes Jensen scooping the other back. It's Zeyzal dead now as Azir has grabbed the double kill.
And Team Liquid get to take the Dragon after that as well. They thought that they could just take a fight, AEG, but the Orianna, without being there, we saw it, we have the Observer, they need to be grouped up. This is the way that the composition operates. Orianna coming in a lot later just meant that the rest of EG was never confident enough to go for an aggressive move with the Senna into the river, so they were never able to actually establish a footing there. And you see the vision. This is why it was so hard for EG to move in. You've got those double control wards. A champion like Orianna does a lot for you when it comes to controlling vision that is taken by the enemy. The ball can give you the vision necessary to actually take those wards down, or at least know that you're not being ambushed by Team Liquid.
Yeah, well, let's just fight again here. I mean, EG knew they had to do something. It's just, you know, finding something to do is really hard in a spot like this.
So it's funny to see so many members of Team Liquid standing around because there's essentially 3 people in stasis. It was first Zeyzal, then the Tempered Fate caught 2 members, and Jensen pulls out Svenskeren. So EG gets to disengage knowing that the 3-man squad is somewhat safe, and here is where Golden Glue gets a little bit over eager. Now, Broxah doesn't have Kick Flash, but with the Mordekaiser to scoop you down, it's pretty easy to put yourself behind her.
Yeah, Svenskeren also just had to back. He had no health left after Broxah almost killed him, so Jensen finds the easy follow-up kill. And Golden Glue does get the tower in the bottom lane here, so we'll keep a little bit of gold in EG's pockets, but Soul Dragon's now looming in 4 minutes. This is a very swift snowball of that objective from Team Liquid.
And it's something that I think they have definitely been working on, because we have been hearing from their players themselves, like, this is not how we want to be known as, right? We don't want to have these slow games. We know that we have the advantages and we can push them, and the itemizations tell us that for sure. There's the Leandry's Nashor's completed on the Azir right now. He is just so freaking strong. There is nobody that can stand up to him right now. So as long as they can keep playing around Jensen and give him the opportunity to dish out damage, EG has no one that can buy enough time for Bang or Golden Glue to dish out damage. And they don't even have another threat. In fact, there's only 2 threats, really, and they take a long time to be relevant.
CoreJJ is just brimming with confidence right now. He's zooming through the enemy jungle, is slapping Svenskeren, who he's 3 levels down from with Meeps. He's got Shirelius to charge the poison if there's a fight happening. Oh, that feels bad, man. Dabs on him as well. That was only a Hex Splash for Svenskeren, but it still looked sweet.
Oh, that is just wrecking Svenskeren there. The dab is really what sealed the
That's
deal.
psychological damage, you know?
Exactly. Try that on me once again and see what happens. You know Svenskeren's not looking for another Hex Flash against CoreJJ. He knows he's got his number.
Yeah, and the pressure keeps mounting here for TL. Jensen's working on that tier 2 in bottom lane. Bang does get the red buff, which is nice. But Broxah is here. Golden Glue is potentially in trouble just in this 2v1. But his team's moving in. Zeyzal's trying to get some vision down. EG, you know, need to clear out some space in their own jungle, need to retake some territory. Tactic's going to get the red buff now, and it's getting tricky.
Now, Team Liquid is going to just continue to hold this blue side jungle as long as it takes. And if they don't need to base, they won't, because it will set them up for the next dragon that will put them on that Infernal Soul, which is everything that they have wanted this game. 2 minutes for it, and now with Funi being assigned to the bottom side of the map, he's somewhat safer than the Orianna, but he's still going to get scooped and has to flash away from it.
Jensen may be wrapped up here, does have his own flash though, and Zeyzal does not follow in with the Glacial Fissure. Still the rest of EG coming in. CoreJJ actually gets the Blast Plant, but here's the Magical Journey. CoreJJ going to juke back around into it, but they're trying to find a kill here. TP in instead from Team Liquid, and they'll stay safe with the Sun Turret up.
Okay, so they get a TP out of Team Liquid. That's a pretty big deal now. That's going to force Team Liquid to be in more group before this fight. It's a minute 20 for the big honcho of a team fight. And now having to base from the rest of the squad, this is where EG can actually take the time to clear out the vision. They need to get every single ward here and make sure that Team Liquid doesn't know where they're coming from. That control ward that we just see where Impact is going through, that's where they have to make sure that they can clear out fairly soon, or else Team Liquid will still have a stranglehold in this blue side of the jungle.
Yeah, they've got a minute. They can go back, spend whatever gold they have, buy some more controllers if they need them, and start clearing out space for this objective. It's not going to be easy, but they do have to do their due diligence, do some administrative work around their own jungle. You can see just how dark it is, though, as the observers toggle that vision. There is nothing that EG can see past this river.
Well, they at least can see their own items that have been completed, which is the Liandry's, the Seras, which is pretty nice. You got the Mirror Mana and the Youmu's for Bang. So they actually are hitting some decent spikes, and hopefully Huni with his Sensor and Grail can do enough boosting for the rest of the squad. Broxah will just barely make it out. Now Azir's topside, so I think EG could actually rush this, as Jensen isn't TPing anytime soon, so he's not going to join before the fight. He's going to join after.
I feel like Azir TP is also like the stuff of the wrong kind of legend, where it's kind of like a GP TP. Like, yeah, you can do it, but Azir kind of needs time to set things up, you know, like be in position. So EG are going to start this dragon as expected. Impact was looking for the flank, though. But now wrangling with the blue buff as EG are trying to find a pick before this happens. Jensen, though, has made his way down here, did teleport, but he's now in position to set up for this fight. Team Liquid, they will fight tooth and nail for this soul.
So EG pulls out because they're afraid of Broxah going for the steal. He was still on the right side of the jungle thinking about that, and with the Mordekaiser wrapping around is a lot harder. They feel confident starting in now because Mordekaiser is missing, but the steal threat is still there, and Broxah stole quite a few last week.
Here it comes, Tempered Fate. Only finds two, though, but it's two carries. There's the ulti out of Broxah, who's going in. He doesn't get the dragon, so Tia will be denied the salt, but Impact flashes in, scoops up two with the claw, and now EG can have to try and fight their way out of it, but Sven's in the death room getting slapped by the mace. He's dead as Impact is going to pop out and say, surprise, it's time to fight the rest of us. As EG are kiting back in, a great Karma Shield. Impact is going to die. Nice shockwave there for Golden, who's going to catch one as Huni goes Golden, but again, CoreJJ finds the bind, and Jensen cleans house as Team Liquid are going to grab the ace. Huni is the only one left alive, and it's not for very much longer. It's Broxah that finishes it off.
And for losing a single member, you're happy if you lost that Infernal Dragon. You are capable of going to Baron right now, and you might be able to buy enough time to actually have Impact get it as well. Team Liquid is just so strong in these fights, and Bard is coming in huge this game. I think CoreJJ is just having such a strong performance despite his carries, doing the best they can to outshine the counterparts in EG. But man, this Bard's binds and ultimates are just being so clutched. I don't think we've seen the Bard be this good in LCS.
I mean, even to me, just thinking about how mobile CoreJJ was able to be in the early game is maybe even more impactful than how good he's also been in these team fights. But watch this one again. Lining up the Bud Light Ace, CoreJJ kicks it off with the Tempered Fate.
So this is trying to just set up the Lee Sin to go for a steal, and Brox is really trying his darndest there, but just barely misses out on the smite. And then Impact's like, okay, I got an opportunity to go in here. I can hit that flash bind, but he knows he can just take out the jungler right away. Does his best to actually take him out, but then there's a Bard on the side, right? Just harassing, just being really annoying, and it all buys enough time for the Azir to just still be here. Now, I like what the Karma did to dodge out of the potential engage onto them, but you already have an Azir that is so fed hammering away at the rest of your team. It's just not going to look pretty.
Yeah, missed it the first time though, but that Fate's call setting up CoreJJ was real nasty. The Tactical's definitely deserving some credit there as well for CoreJJ's double bind setup. But back into the game, we got a little under 2 minutes of Baron buff left, and Team Liquid are demolishing EG structures.
They can go and possibly end the game here, Pastry. They are that strong. They have a 10,000 gold lead. This is the kind of lead where you would really try to pull the trigger and see if you can execute on these dives and just hand off a single Baron push. We know that the best teams in the world can do that right now. And when you have a Tempered Fate, which is on cooldown, but it obviously will be with the Baron still being available, you could just finish the game right here, right now. The items are there, the gold is there, and you'd almost feel bad if you weren't able to do it, because these players want to be able to accelerate the pace of the game to this speed. It's their goal. It's how they can know that they will compete internationally and stack up against the competition there.
Jensen is just so strong. You watch him in the top lane just smacking down turrets, and I mean, that's maybe the least of EG's problems. It's tough to say what the toughest thing to overcome is right now. It's safe to say, though, that Team Liquid are monstrously far ahead in this game. CoreJJ is so annoying. He's roaming back up to the top lane, threatening stuns. He's got the ulti ready to go. He's igniting people. He's winning lane.
He's not letting Svenskeren get away with these Hex Flashes. He's just following him the whole way through, and that is what is the most obnoxious for this jungler, knowing that you're not making a play without CoreJJ there being involved, and now doesn't even get to hit the stun. It's time for the dab, Core. That's definitely a dabbing penguin kind of move.
Yeah, Jet's going to finish off the top inhib tower as well. They're just losing everything at this point, or EG. And talk about marking plays, you know, in League of Legends, but also in sports in general. Usually it's like a one-to-one thing. I feel like CoreJJ is marking the entire enemy team with how frustrating and slippery he's being on this VOD. But EG going to have to pick their moment soon, Crumbzz, because they're about to lose all of their structures. And Impact is just forcing Golden Glue to fight him, so they can't even 5v5 right now. His Impact has taken Orianna out of this fight. Oh goodness, that's just going to be a solo kill, looks like. Very nearly almost, as he exhausts his down stasis. For Impact's going to keep him alive for a little while longer. Bang finally finishes him off, but the Fate Skull is primed and ready. TL, though, in a 5v4, going to have to be a little bit careful, perhaps. But Jensen is ready with the scoop. Sven is low. Golden Glue has returned, and 2 inhibs are already dead, Crumbzz.
Well, at least they can stall the game out from ending right here. Oh, last minion,
Zeyzal!
Oh, it lives. It lives.
All right, the cannon creep has been taken care of. The threat is dispatched. Team Liquid maybe considering staying around for that last hit on the inhibitor, but there's a dragon up in less than 10 seconds, and EG want to fight the Jensen. That magical journey buffer was absurd, flashing out there as well as the rest of EG were incoming, but CoreJJ once again saving lives here on the VOD.
Saving lives and just taking lives from EG. They are thinking about fighting for this Inferno. This is the last stand out of EG. There's a teleport on Impact if he maybe wants to try to backdoor, but they could just take a fight as well. They are so darn strong. 12k lead. He just TPs in. His ulti's available. You could just pick a member and take him out.
Not that many ults in general. There's one, though. Shockwave is going to force a flash and find Impact. Svenskeren, dunk tactical back in. The Fate's call in for CoreJJ. He's almost got the Tempered Fate back up. Svenskeren is low, but he's not out just yet, but he needs to be alive to take this dragon. And Zeyzal, he's the one locked in the death realm right now. Pulled back in as Impact finds a very nice claw, and Tactical just takes out Golden Glue as there is too much here for Team Liquid. They're going to grab the Infernal Soul. The rest of EG kind of need to leave before they die, as CoreJJ is diving back in. He's locking up Bang with Meebs. There's the pullback. Bang's going to be forced to flash away, and Tactical's in there. He's taking the magical journey. Nice and aggressive. Takes down Bang, and Jensen is looking to finish off the game in style as the rest of Team Liquid are patting the KDAs.
Jensen wants glory. He wants to be like Bjergsen, ending the game by himself, backdooring, but Svenskeren's going to stop him. He doesn't actually get to hit the stun, and he'll have to wait for the rest of the team to come back. It looks like the game still goes on, but not for much longer, as the rest of Team Liquid is just beelining straight in here. They want to be in that little end game picture, finally gets to take out that top inhibitor, but they're just so far ahead. It doesn't matter how EG was going to fight around that dragon. You're up against a 12,000, now 14,000 gold lead. This is one of Team Liquid's most impressive performances.
Yeah, you know, we talk about structures being an important objective in League of Legends. Team Liquid have taken all but one. There's only the Nexus left for EG right now. Yes, their inhibitors will respawn in a couple of minutes, but this is a ridiculous lead that Team Liquid have managed to build, and we're just cresting the 30-minute mark now, Crumbzz. So even with, you know, one of those Soul Drakes denied, still pretty quick, all things considered. Team Liquid just, you know, took the ball and ran all the way downfield with it. So now they're going to take this Baron as well. And there, it just isn't a way for EG to get in here.
Well, they're going to try, because either they do it now or you're just going to do it in your base. And you know you're going to lose at that point, too. So they actually don't go for it. They're just still farming away, trying to crash the waves. You got Orianna in the bot lane trying to farm, but Team Liquid's just trying to take all the objectives, just going for the extra laps here, trying to make sure that they've got everything that EG could possibly want.
You know, we talk about percentage players, Crumbzz, and neither percentage is good in this case, but I think this fight is higher of a chance to win than the Baron fight. They're both extremely low, but EG have to try something here. Bang is starting it off on an impact. He does slow him down, but at this point, the Super Minions, if any more waves start walking with this Baron buff, they're going to be enough to finish off the Nexus. Team Liquid will can just spectate if they want to, but they're not interested in spectating Crumbzz. They're interested in ending this game emphatically as Broxah diving in, kicks Golden Glue back. It's just insult to injury all game long as Tactical is able to take him down, and the rest of Team Liquid surge in as Tactical is going to nab himself to double kill. Huni locked up in a Tempered Fate. It's a race to get the KDA pumped up before the Nexus dies, but Team Liquid are going to take down EG in just barely under 32 minutes.
I think that seals it, Pastry, with TSM's game earlier today and Team Liquid's dominant performance. On top of the record, they are definitively our second best team in LCS. And with this game, I'm proud to say it too.
Yeah, Team Liquid, again, like, yes, they've had some games in the middle that were very long, despite how good their record looked. But they have picked it up since then. And, you know, EG, it's difficult to gauge exactly how strong they are with the new roster. You know, they knew they were taking risks against very strong opponents this weekend, playing 2 new players. But regardless, I think you cannot overlook just how well Team Liquid played. This is the clean, methodical style that has won 4 championships in a row, Crumbzz. It feels like Team Liquid may very well be back.
Yeah, and who's back? On whose back was that in the early game? At least it was CoreJJ roaming so much. But
goodness, what a game!
Yeah, just beautiful. But then the laning phases, how far ahead they got. Now it's hard to say. You know, it's Golden Glue's first game against Jensen, who's looking so good as well. So maybe we don't know how that stacks. Although usually when these two face off, it is still Jensen winning in a pretty significant fashion.
Yeah, it turns out Jensen's numbers looking pretty good regardless of the opponent. It's time for a quick break. On the other side, we hear from Tactical in the Verizon post-game interview. Don't miss it.